Have you ever wanted to get someone to say yes? Maybe you were offering a product or a service or some sort of amazing thing that you do and you really wanted them to say yes? Is it possible to get more people to give you that wonderful, wonderful word? In this video, we're going to be teaching you the 5 main reasons why people say yes and how to get more people to say yes to you. Have you ever wondered how the absolute top salespeople in the world get so many people to say yes? Would you be okay with having a lot more yeses in your life? During this video, we're going to teach you a number of principles of why people specifically say yes. The first one has to do with social pressure. Have you ever been in a hotel room and seen a sign in the bathroom that says something to the effect of, "Please reuse your towels"? And of course, they'll give you some sort of incentive like, please help us to conserve the environment or save water. Let's be real here. What is that hotel really wanting? They want to save on costs. They want to cut down on the amount of laundry expenses that they have to do. And so, of course, they're going to ask you, if possible, to reuse your towels. Studies have shown that the most effective hotel chains get the most people to reuse their towels will actually give some sort of statistic. And they'll say something to the effect of, most people that stay in these rooms reuse their towels at least once. Or something like 66% of the people that have stayed in this room reuse their towels at least once. People want to feel like they're included in the majority. People want to belong to another group. They want to belong again to most other people. And so using social proof can greatly increase the chances that people will actually say yes. Another example is, have you ever watched a comedy that didn't have a laugh track? And maybe you didn't even notice it at first, but after a while you think to yourself, this just doesn't seem as funny as it normally should. And suddenly it dawns on you, oh, we don't hear the laughter in the background. When people that produce comedy sitcoms a long time ago realized this principle, they began to add a laugh track. And they realized that viewership totally skyrocketed because suddenly things seemed way more funny. Now, was it true that the content actually became funnier? No. But people heard all these other people laughing, and so they thought, oh, well, this must be a really funny joke. And therefore, they began to laugh more and enjoy the program more. Another reason is because people see others as authority figures. Think about that for a moment. Probably the greatest salespeople on the planet are physicians. They are very, very capable, very, very skilled at selling prescription drugs. Why? Because people that go to see medical doctors obviously see those doctors as authority figures. Those doctors will write a prescription, they'll say, take this to your pharmacy and go and purchase this particular drug. They do, usually with no questions asked. Now, can you imagine if some little kid came up to you when you were sick and said, oh, I know exactly what you need. You need to go and buy this pill over here from your pharmacy. Would you be likely to do it? Probably not if you've never even heard of that particular drug, and especially because you don't see that particular child as an authority figure on the body. Reason number 3, scarcity. Do you remember a few years ago when Hostess supposedly went out of business? People began stocking up on Hostess products. I remember hearing that certain Twinkies, things that used to be sold for cents, were being sold on eBay for like $5,000. Now, why in the world would someone pay $5,000 for a Twinkie? It's because they didn't think that they were going to be able to buy Twinkies again in the future. And so again, of course, people began to totally stock up on Hostess products. My friends, what are some ways that you as a salesperson could create scarcity? Could you offer limited time offers? Could you only have a certain limited number of products available at a certain time? Yeah, these things work. And these things help a person to actually say yes. Another major reason why a lot of people don't hear the word yes is because they simply don't ask them to say yes. A lot of times people will present a product or a service and they'll expect the prospect to close him or herself. They don't actually ask that person for a yes. My friend, have you been guilty of this? Let's be honest. Have you ever failed to ask someone to do something that do you know you would like them to do? Have you ever maybe failed to ask a person for a date simply because you were too worried that they might say no? Have you ever failed to ask perhaps a manager for a raise because, again, you feared rejection? My friend, if you don't ever ask, of course the answer is going to be no. Start asking more questions, my friend. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean like be ridiculous and start being overly picky and start asking for things like that making you seem totally entitled. But every so often, it's okay to begin asking for things that you desire. I remember back when I used to wait tables, I used to joke around with some of my managers. And every so often, I would just in jest say something like, hey, would you like to buy me dinner tonight? Not really expecting them to say yes. But every so often, one of them would actually look at me and say, sure, yeah, you can have a free meal. And I'd go, really? Well, how come? They said, well, because you asked. And I said, well, fantastic. Again, I was okay if they had said no. But just because I asked caused them to actually say yes every so often. And a yes every so often, as I'm sure you would agree, is a lot better than never getting a yes. True? Finally, a major reason why people say yes is because they perceive a reason for saying yes. A study was done at a major university not too long ago. And in that university, in their library, there's only one single photocopy machine. Like for the entire library. Only one photocopy machine that was available for students to use. And of course, at certain times of the day, there was this huge long line to use that photocopy machine. I mean, sometimes people would wait in line for 45 minutes just because they needed to make copies for an upcoming class or an upcoming project. Studies showed that if a person walked up to the person that was next in line to use the photocopy machine and simply asked, hey, could I use the photocopy machine? Could I cut in front of you? Usually the answer, as you can imagine, was no. But if they added a reason and they used the word because, their likelihood of getting a yes went up by 90%. Even if it was simply asking something like, hey, could I use the photocopy machine? Can I cut in front of you just because I need the photocopy machine? People were actually a lot more likely to say yes. That seems ludicrous, but it works. Simply having a reason and using the word because can help you get a lot more people to say yes. Is that useful? Try some of these out, my friend, and see how many more times people say yes to you. Thank you so very much for watching, my friend. Did you benefit from this information? If so, make sure to comment below, give us a thumbs up, and click the subscribe button. As always, if you know other people that would benefit from this video, please make sure to share it with them. And of course, we would absolutely love to see you at one of our live events. I promise it'll be very, very worth it. We'll see you there.